You're listening to Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe.
Hey, Vinos, real quick, if you are listening right now, which obviously you are or you wouldn't be hearing this, can you hit the subscribe or follow button on whatever platform you're on? Please. That one simple thing helps more than you even realize. It allows me to keep growing on this podcast and making these episodes the best they can possibly be, obviously for you. That's the only favor I'm going to ever ask, okay? It truly means the world to me. Thank you. Now let's get into it. All right, it's back, baby. Thank you for bearing with me. We had a little reset over here, but just like all things in life, you roll with the punches, you figure it out, you put one foot in front of the other. And I am excited to pick this back up because it's officially been 10 years since my season of The Bachelorette aired. 10 years, it's a decade. So over the next 5 weeks, I am reconnecting with some of the guys from my season to look back, relive the chaos, and see where they're at now. We're talking behind the scenes moments, never before heard stories, and all the stuff you didn't see on camera. So buckle up, Vinos. We're doing a full-on rewind. First up, Tanner Tolbert. Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe, and today is a fun one because it's time to interview Tanner Tolbert from my season. He's honestly one of the funniest, and he's like got the most driest, most unexpectedly iconic sense of humor. He's one of my favorite guys from my season, even though he keeps saying I didn't like him. I don't know why he thinks that. I actually did. Maybe he wasn't the love of my life, but I liked him, and I just kind of dragged him down memory lane, and we had a good chat about it. This is so bananas for me to watch back because, and I'm sure you're feeling the same way, that yeah. I'm like, I blacked out so much of what happened on the show. Like, I don't remember half of the stuff I'm watching back, and it's me.
Have you watched it again since it aired live or no?
No, I've seen like bits and pieces here and there, but I've never fully committed to rewatching.
Yeah, neither have I. It's crazy that it's been 10 years, but yeah, it was weird to watch some of these clips again because it's like, it's such a whirlwind, you know, when you're in the moment, you're so caught up in all the other like hoopla of it all that you're not even paying attention to what you're doing half the time.
I know. Well, and you get so almost like accustomed to the cameras and like everything going on that it becomes your normal because it's all you do every day, all day. You don't have your phone, you don't have your friends, you just like are living this life 24/7 that it becomes normal. And then watching it back, you're like, this is not normal at all. And then people wonder why people behave this way. Well, because you're in the most uncomfortable, weirdest situation of all time.
And it's because there's no other entertainment. So you make your own entertainment. It's like, that's what I almost enjoyed most about the show. It's like, it was like you're living, you know, I don't watch soap operas, but it's like you're living in your own little mini soap opera. And like the only source of entertainment you have is just to like create your own shit.
And you know, I mean, you would watch the show before, so you know like what makes good TV, what doesn't. And it's so funny because I always love when people, you know, you have to be able to carry a show to some extent to make good TV, but also be a good person. And I feel like you did a good job of both. Like you're like, you knew how the show worked. You made good TV. You had good one-liners, but you were also like not there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I came on the show is because, like you said, I love reality TV. I mean, I watched The Bachelor, I watched Survivor, all these shows. That's like I just wanted to see how the sausage was made almost from inside the show. So I almost came in with that mindset, and it became very clear early on that like I kind of knew my role. So I was like, I'm just going to be the commentary guy, and I'm going to kind of stir the pot and make other people do some crazy stuff. And I'm going to try to thread the needle through this and come out looking okay. So I think I did okay at it, but you know.
You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. I was thinking that because knowing that you had watched the show before, who do you think is more dramatic, the men or the women?
I think, in a weird way, I think the men are. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because we're not used to being in these settings. And then when we get there, it's like we don't know how to act. But I don't know. Our season we had some characters though. So
characters. I still look back, and I say this. I always say this. Like, there's a few seasons where I believe had really incredible men, and I do always say this, that I don't even think I'm biased. I think our group of men were so solid, like so many different personalities, but so many good ones, and so many that went on to do like cool things with their lives.
Right. Yeah, we kind of have a good cast. We really did. We had there's a lot of people that are pretty known from the franchise, weirdly enough. But then there were the odd characters that came in and made the season great too. You know, it felt like each episode there was like some craziness that happened, and it carried the season pretty well.
Well, it's funny because you would think as the lead, I would know like the drama that was going to happen, or I would be like, okay, well, I know that this has to happen this episode, so let's roll with the punches. But I was always surprised. I'd be like, can we not catch a break on one of these episodes? Like, but then you think about it and you're like, watching the show back, you don't want like this easygoing episode where everything goes right, because then that's boring TV.
Right, we were blessed with Tony the healer. I mean, he provided his thing. Who knew Ian was gonna, shake things up the way Ian did? And you robbed America of perhaps the best story of all by sending Josh Sider home night one. Who knows what kind of fireworks could have happened had he stayed along.
Honestly, he has me blocked. I would love to reach out and interview him to see what's going on, but he's blocked me. But I was thinking that, what's his name? Tony the healer. I'm like, he was so ahead of his time, because we're all like now getting into the spiritual zone where people are like, everybody's wanting to be more zen and do yoga and like, see the life through a child's eyes.
Yeah, Tony was just a decade early. He may have been final 2 and Bachelor material had he gone on today. So
right, like he was kind of like, we laughed at him, but I think he was really laughing at us. And now I wonder. Wait, I actually heard something bad happened to him.
I mean, the last I saw of Tony, he was like sick or something, and then I hadn't heard from him for like 8 years, so I have no idea.
I crept him the other night, so I guess what I'm saying is thoughts and prayers to Tony for whatever he's going through. Hopefully he calls himself Tony the healer, and I honestly am just like, I hope he can.
If anyone can make it out, it's the healer.
It's the healer. Yes, we're all praying for the healer. And before we obviously dive into drama of the boxing matches and all of that shit that went on, I have questions that I don't think I know the answer to, and I think people would be interested in this. I know you said you were a fan of reality TV, but how did you end up on The Bachelorette? Like, did you fill out the paperwork? Did somebody nominate you?
It was kind of funny. Me and my ex used to watch it together, and then we obviously broke up, and I continued watching it, and so my little sister nominated me.
Oh, she
and
did?
I had no idea. I was on the way to a Chiefs game actually with my friends, and like I got a call from a producer, and I was like bullshit. Like I didn't believe it at first, and then just went through the process, and here we are. Yeah, I watched The Bachelor, but I probably wouldn't have chose. I would have rather been like tried to go on Survivor or one of those shows. That's what I wanted to do, but when opportunity calls, you answer. So.
And you did. I feel like I would have wanted to go on. I tried to go on Big Brother, but they don't take Canadians. And
really?
Then my girlfriend signed me up for The Bachelor, and I was like, okay, I guess this is the route that I'm on.
Turned out to be the right choice for both of us, I think. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And okay, so you want to see how the sausage is made. So when you get into the Bachelor Mansion, and this is something that I noticed, I thought like you get out of the limo and you'd hear the music, like the romantic music, or you would like walk in and it would be a normal house, but you look up and there's like stage lights and there's cameras everywhere. What shocked you the most when you got into that mansion?
Yeah, it was how much it didn't feel like a normal house, like what it looks like on TV. It feels like you're living on a set. You can't turn a corner without some crazy lights or the amount of sheer people on set was probably the most crazy thing.
Out of all the guys, who do you think had it the hardest?
Oh, easy. I think it's Sean. Yeah. I think it was Sean Booth for sure. I mean, me and Sean, like, we got along, but we weren't like tight ever. But I felt very early on that he was a front runner, which obviously proved to be true. And it kind of felt like he got ostracized, not like intentionally. And maybe it was some of the guys doing, maybe it was some of his own where he was like very into you early on, but there was a distance there. So I felt like it was probably hardest on him, because while a lot of us were there just kind of dicking around half the time, he got serious feelings very early on, and it was pretty evident, and things affected him more than say affected me. Whereas like I pretty much knew from jump that I was like, Kaitlyn probably doesn't like me. I'm gonna have some fun here, and I treated it like a vacation. He had real stuff going on.
I feel like a lot of guys thought that because Sean was such a front runner, I feel like a lot of guys thought like I wasn't even interested, which I actually was, but I actually look back and think, like, I try and hold myself a bit accountable, because I'm like, I shouldn't have made it so obvious from the get-go that it was him, because it put everybody in a tough position. It put other guys in a tough position. It put me in a tough position. It put Sean in a tough position.
And I'm sure I've heard that happens most seasons, so I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. But I really think he had the hardest time for sure, because it was real for him. Whereas for us, it was fun,
I get that. Like if I put myself in, well, my own shoes when I was on Chris Soule's season, I was totally there just to have so much fun. I loved meeting all the girls. I wasn't like, I really fell for him towards the end, but it wasn't like right out of the gates. I wasn't like, oh shit, I'm going to marry this guy. It like was a slow build.
Yeah.
Where for Sean and myself, it was like instantaneous, like, oh shit, this is a real thing.
Right. And I think how hard that is. Like, because for me, it's like, I didn't give a shit if you were kissing somebody else. Sean cared. You know what I mean?
Totally. Okay, we all know this feeling when your to-do list is so long, you don't even know where to start. Ooh, I feel like that right now, actually. Work appointments, catching up with friends, remembering to drink enough water. Life is nonstop. And if you throw apartment hunting into the mix, well, forget about it. Just forget about it. But that is where apartments.com can come in handy. They take the stress out of finding your next home so you can actually enjoy the process instead of dreading it. So if you want to see if a place is a good fit, you can take a 3D virtual tour and get a real feel for the space without even having to leave your couch. And once you find a place you love, you can schedule a tour online and even apply with one click. So you're not stuck filling out endless paperwork for every single place you're interested in. It's all in one spot, making your search just way easier. So whether you're moving for a fresh start, a new job, just better vibes all around, apartments.com helps you get it done so you can get back to literally everything else. So join the millions of happy renters. Find your next home at apartments.com, the place to find a place. I've talked about this a few times on my podcast, but quints, man, they just get it. As soon as summer hits, I want to refresh my wardrobe, but I'm not about to drop hundreds on trendy pieces that will probably be out by next season. That's why I keep going back to quints. This year, I grabbed a new bathing suit from them. It's so flattering. It's a minimalist one piece that feels designer, but under $50. It's crazy. The quality is unbelievable and the fit is perfect. Honestly, better than suits I've paid triple for. And I also picked up these gorgeous Italian leather platform sandals that I've already worn out to dinner and to a backyard barbecue. It was very cute. Everything at Quince is made with premium fabrics and craftsmanship without the luxury markup. They work directly with top artisans to skip the middleman, so you're getting the good stuff without the guilt. Plus, they only work with factories that are safe, ethical, and responsible, which just makes me love them a little more. So if you're looking to elevate your summer wardrobe with pieces that are timeless, versatile, and actually affordable, Quince is it. Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/vine for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/vine. Quince.com/vine. Okay, so the boxing group date. I want to know how you felt about that. And did you know that I did not come up with that date?
No, as far as who came up with it, honestly, it didn't even cross many of our minds. Because that was our first group date, right?
Yes.
So I think we were just all deer in the headlights. We weren't even like thinking straight. We were still like in shock and awe mode for that first week.
Yeah.
Where we were just like, what the hell are we doing? More confused and more like curious to see how this was going to go. But no, it was an interesting date. I wouldn't have chosen to go against the, jacked personal trainer dude, if I could do it again, but at least I didn't fall down. He didn't knock me out. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You weren't concussed. You weren't dead.
Yeah, exactly.
You got through it. I remember feeling terrible because I was like, everybody's going to think that I chose violence, that I was like, let's put these men like in a ring shirtless and fight each other. But I was like, I had severe anxiety watching all you guys because, when you put men and testosterone in that ring, you're going to like, your faces changed. Like everybody else was like, and it was scary.
Yeah, it wasn't. I've never really been in a fighting situation, so it was interesting.
You were the one standing there with me when Ryan McDill slapped my ass, weren't you?
Yeah. Because Ryan is from Kansas City, so we actually found out that we were going on the show ahead of time, like through a mutual friend. So we met up like a week before we left, just to like grab some drinks and get to know each other. So night one, familiar face in that house goes a long way. So I was like, hey, what's up, Ryan? And so we were kind of tagging along together. So I was with him, it felt like half the night, partially because I knew him and partially because he was entertaining, to say the least. He had a few too many cocktails. But yeah, so I happened to be there during that incident.
I just thought of that you were the one standing there that time. Now, I personally love Ryan McDill. I thought obviously that was inappropriate for him to touch me that way, but like overall, I'm like, I have moved on. I forgive him. I think he's freaking hilarious.
I know we were robbed. Yeah, in a different world. What if Ryan McDill and Josh Sider made it like halfway through the season? This could have been insane.
Well, do you want to know something crazy? Is my sister called me right before they took my phone away, and she said a few guys' names have leaked. One was Ryan McDill, and the other was Brady. And
the guy that left with Britt or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, hot. They were like athletes and they looked cute. And then I was like, night one, I'm like looking for them. And then I was like, oh, wah, wah.
Yeah. No, I mean, because I had known of Ryan a little bit just from being in the same city. And like, yeah, chicks liked him, man. He was a very eligible bachelor. He's very funny. Yeah. Nikki from the Bachelorette used to date him.
Right.
Or the Juan Pablo Nikki. Yeah, she used to date him. So like, I knew of Ryan, and I going into it, I was like, oh, Ryan's going to be stiff competition because like of the reputation he had, and you know, good looking cat and funny, but he flew a little too close to the sun.
Did he surprise you? If you knew of him and you had went for drinks before, were you surprised at the way he behaved on night one, or were you like, classic Ryan?
That is Ryan. Like the Ryan I met before was still cut from that cloth, but he took it to 100. Like normally, I feel like he's like, you know, down here on that, but still on like a funny, jokey level. But he went here. I don't know if it was the drinks or the pressure of national TV, but he was full on.
I tried to reach out to get him on for an interview, but it's funny because he had actually DM'd me a few times, just like, hey, like seeing how you're doing, and we had chatted back and forth. And then when I asked him to come on, it was like radio silence.
Radio silence, yeah. Yeah, I think he may have had a kid I saw recently, but he seems to be doing well. But yeah, he's a good dude. He's a funny guy. I wish America got to see a different side of him.
Me too. I feel like redemption for Ryan McDill needs to be a thing. I also love the friendships that were formed from this season. Obviously, you and Jared are like so close, and Ashley and Jade. And were you and Jared really close during filming?
About halfway through the season, me and Jared got really close. So me and JJ was like my best friend from the show, probably. So me and JJ were always joking it up and having fun. And then like halfway through, Jared kind of joined us a little bit, it felt like, and the three of us started hanging out a lot, and so that friendship was carried on. I still talk to JJ and Jared all the time. I felt like JJ was ostracized, so when we went to New York, I could tell he was a little down because he felt like everyone hated him. So that's when I was like, hey buddy, I'll room with you, because like nobody else wanted to. Aww. So me and JJ started becoming roommates, and that's where me and JJ got like super close, because I saw like the real side of JJ, and you know, not the villain side.
Because I feel like I mean, I obviously don't see what all goes on in the house, but always on like one-on-one time, it was clear. I really liked JJ and I really liked Clint. Was there anything that wasn't shown that you wish they showed on the show?
I mean, not really. I feel like they did a pretty good job of showing all our drama. But as far as what actually made it on air, I mean, I think they caught most of the drama. There was drama every night. I mean, the drama didn't hide.
It really was pedal to the metal drama every night. I also laughed because I watched back at how I said, I'm Canadian, and I said drama. That's how I said drama. I was always like, there's so much drama in the house. And I'm like, whoop, I said drama? That's so funny. Obviously, we're not there yet because we're going to get to episode 5 down the road. But I had to bring up you going against Ben Z in the rap battle, because do you remember your rap?
A little bit, yeah. You know, I was the most nervous for that date out of all of them. You know, the boxing, whatever, you get in there, you deal with it. But like having to be creative that is not where I'm comfortable. Like I don't want to get on. I hate being on stage. Yeah, but I took my B Rabbit from 8 Mile notes and was trying to rhyme the best I could. And I was like, man, if I can't beat Ben Z, who's like the most nice guy in the world, then I can't beat anybody. So I had to go for a few digs.
It almost felt like a rapping roast that you did, which I thought was very creative.
Yeah, that was the only method I could figure out to not make a fool of myself. So.
And then wasn't that the date that Nick came into the episode?
That was. So yeah, there was like rumors started spreading while we were at the rap battle date that like Nick was there in the audience with, you know, maybe someone else from the show. So like it became we started getting a little skeptical then. We're like, that's weird that he's here, you know? Yeah. Because so it was starting to get on our radar. And then obviously, you know, the later that night, he shows up.
Isn't that so weird to think about? Like every turn that you've taken in life that puts you in a position to be where you're at today, which is so wild. Happily married, the most beautiful children. And that all happened from going on a crazy reality TV show that you used to watch with your ex-girlfriend.
Right. I think about it a lot. There are so many dominoes that had to fall. Just the specific timing, getting on the season with this group of people, somehow managing to make it through as far as I did to go to Paradise. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Like my life would obviously be a zillion times different. So it's, even though it was a wild experience, I'm very thankful for it.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I do want to shift gears into Bachelor in Paradise because the vibes are very different than the Bachelorette mansion. I've obviously never experienced the beaches of Paradise, but what was your mindset going into Paradise coming off of like such an intense season of the Bachelorette?
Oh, it felt so nice because nerves are high when you're going into that first show. Like you don't know what to expect. Right. And there was only like a month break for us between when I got sent home in Ireland to going on into Paradise. So like I felt like a veteran at this point. I was still in it. My mind was in it. I was just purely excited to get down there and be in like a different environment. Because like being on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette's like, it's more like wow, and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? When you're in Paradise, like it's so comfortable. And I always feel bad for like the people that like you that never got to go down there because it's so much more fun. It really is.
I've heard that. It's so much more. I mean, you get to spend way more time with the person that you want to spend time with.
I spent more time on the day one with Jade than I did, 6 weeks with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I actually do think, I mean, it makes sense because there are like quite a few people that come out of Bachelor in Paradise that are more successful than on Bachelor and Bachelorette, but it makes sense because you get to spend like so much time with them. Plus you've got tummy issues. And once you get there with somebody, you're like so comfortable because of all of the, like, I feel like everybody gets sick in Paradise. Is that true?
Something in the water, yeah.
Yeah, it's the water that you're not supposed to drink. But
right.
So obviously this was like 9 years ago now, but I remember something. Did you want to meet Jade there, or was it day one that it was like, bam, you two from the get-go?
Yeah, no, she was definitely like the person I wanted to go for. So I told her that from the jump. I said like, hey, I'm into you. If you're into me, let's do this. If you're not, I'm just going to have some fun here.
Yeah.
You tell me. And we kind of clicked and hit it off there. I don't know if she liked that I was just bold and told her that right out of the jump, but yeah, the rest is history.
Did you guys date other people on Paradise, or you just stayed together for
No. I mean, it was, I kissed her night one, and then we never looked back. There was early on, producers were like kind of trying to do the whole Tanner versus Jared thing for a minute, but that didn't really get much legs. So we were a pretty boring story. Me and Jade joke about it. It's like, man, if we would have tried to make better TV and then maybe get together episode 2 or 3, because we didn't provide many fireworks. But
did you and Jade talk before going on Bachelor in Paradise?
Not at all. I mean, there was a couple girls that reached out from previous seasons that like DM'd me like, hey, are you going to be there? And you could tell they were kind of trying to like feel it out. But no, Jade and I had zero communication. The most I did, it's like, this is back in like Twitter day when Twitter was, before X, I followed Jade on Twitter and I would just like a lot of her tweets to let her know I was out there. And I'm like, hey. And that was it. So she joked about that because she always said that she noticed me doing that just from
planting the seed.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't want to be creepy and try to DM. So that's it. Twitter likes as far as I did.
That's so funny. And what do you think the moment was when you were like, I actually think I could spend the rest of my life with this person?
Like realistically, like 3/4 of the way through, because Paradise is a lot short. It's only like a month long.
What do you think about Bachelor in Paradise merging with Golden Bachelor in Paradise and having those age groups on the same beach?
I don't know. It's weird to me. I feel like, we liked watching the Golden stuff, but I feel like they're trying to jam the Golden stuff down our throat at every turn. Every episode has a Golden person in it, and I'm like, okay, that's fine on its own entity, but I don't know if we need to mix it. Are they going to be living in the same house? Are they going to be 2 separate camps?
Are they using the same boom boom room?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know if I would feel as comfortable hanging out, with Grandpa next door. I don't know. It's just a different vibe.
And I mean, I feel like it would kind of, like what we love about Golden Bachelorette is how pure it is, and what we love about Bachelor in Paradise is how raunchy and like crazy it is. And I feel like mixing the two, I feel like everyone's going to kind of be more on their best behavior, or have like more like conversations with their parents to like get good advice. And I'm like, no, it's not what we want.
Yeah, we don't want the Goldens to lose their purity in Paradise, which I'm worried could happen. And then, we don't want the crazy young people to be, kind and respectful. We want both of those camps to stay separate.
That's so true. I'm very curious. I mean, obviously people are going to tune in because
I'm curious. I'm going to watch, but maybe they'll figure it out and it'll be great.
I don't know. I'm a little worried about it.
Okay, we've gotten a lot of great things out of Australia, haven't we? The Hemsworth brothers, G-Flip, Uggs, the crocodile hunter, maybe, perhaps. But my new favorite Aussie export is the koala sofa bed. Now, I know sofa beds kind of get a bad rep, but koala has totally changed the game. They use their insanely comfortable mattress technology inside the sofa bed, so it actually does feel like a real bed. No metal bars, no cranky sleepovers, just legit comfort. And let's talk about the looks, because if I were to pick, I would go for the warm terracotta tone. I love it. It just gives that cozy but elevated vibe that makes any room feel styled, but without even trying too hard. So their colors are inspired by the Aussie outback. No sad beige, boring gray here. And the setup, no tools, no tantrums. Everything clicks or slides into place in minutes, which is so convenient. And it also comes in 3 sizes, so it's perfect even if you don't have a ton of space. Koala is B Corp certified, eco-friendly, and supports amazing causes like the World Wildlife Foundation. So yeah, it's comfy, beautiful, and good for the old planet. So if you're even thinking about upgrading your space, this is the sofa bed to get. Upgrade your space with the most stylish, customizable, and elevated sofa bed available. To get up to $250 off your new sofa plus fast shipping, go to us.koala.com/vine. That's us.koala.com/vine. Koala, comfy, easy, sustainable. I know I've talked about this a lot lately, but I did redo my backyard and I do love it so much. I added the pool, obviously, and got some new lounge chairs, the cutest striped umbrella, and I pretty much found everything on Wayfair. There really is just something about having an outdoor space that actually feels like you. You know what I mean? Whether I'm hosting friends, tonight I'm having my 40th birthday with a long table dinner, having a chill wine night, or just drinking coffee by the pool in the morning, it really does feel like my little escape. It is. And Wayfair totally helped me bring that vision to life. They've got everything for outdoors, lounge chairs, patio sets, fire pits, outdoor bars, string lights, you name it. The best part, it's all delivered fast and free, and the big stuff too. So no waiting around forever or paying a fortune to get it to your house. Next up, turning my attention to the front porch. I've already been looking for inspiration, and no surprise, I'm sure I'll end up back on Wayfair again and come here to tell you guys about it. So if you're ready to level up your space, now's the time. Don't wait. Make your outdoor space your dream oasis today with Wayfair and enjoy it all summer long. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop a huge outdoor selection. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Once cameras wrapped from Paradise and you were finally off the beach together, was it still like, for example, like Sean and I coming off the season compared to being on, like there was so much to talk about and so much to get through, and all the attention that comes along with it, and having to do like, I don't know, events together and feeling a certain way. Like, did you guys feel a lot of pressure, or were you like, what was the transition like for you?
To a lesser degree. I mean, because when you're a couple from Paradise, you don't have all the headlines. You guys dealt with a lot more than what we did. And you guys had to navigate. You just got done dating a bunch of other people. We didn't. It was pretty much an easy one-on-one relationship that just happened to be on camera, whereas yours was like a whole social experiment, completely different vibe. So, yeah, I mean, it's still weird going to like the Good Morning Americas and doing all the press stuff and then like having to keep it secret for months. Like that part was obviously weird, but it's under much less scrutiny than I think what you went through.
Did you guys recently go back to, I feel like I saw a picture where all the Bachelor in Paradise people went back to the beach.
And it's been years now. And we went back for like the season after us and then like 2 seasons after that, but it's probably been a good 5 years since we.
Oh, it must have been an old photo I saw or something. Yeah. But you and Jade have been married for 9 years, which is crazy. I mean, I was at your wedding. That was a really fun wedding, by the way. But do you look back at 9 years and be like, that's flown by. Like, I can't believe we've been together for 9 years.
Oh, every day we talk about that. It's crazy. I mean, it doesn't feel like that long ago we were getting out of the limos, and like that still seems like a recent memory to me, which is strange. But yeah, a 9-year marriage. I got a 7-year-old daughter. I guess we're just getting old.
I can't believe, yeah, you have a 7-year-old daughter. You have the most adorable kids. 9 years. I feel like relationships go through so many ups and downs. And like, especially, I always talk about foundations of relationships. I think Bachelor in Paradise is a much more solid foundation to start on than Bachelor or Bachelorette. But I hate this question, but I'm going to ask it. What do you think makes it work for you two?
Man, I mean, there's obviously parts that have been challenges. After the show is hard. You kind of have to re-fall in love again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the foundation for us is that our personalities just mesh. It's been easy, from day one as far as like a daily life thing. I think as long as you enjoy hanging out with each other and you're each other's best friend, then the rest figures itself out.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And what is something that surprised you about parenting that nobody warned you about?
It's the noise, the constant noise.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. The amount of the little bit of alone time that you get, lack of privacy and noise. I mean, it's all good. I'll miss it when it's gone.
Of course.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things I always have to remind myself. It's like, all right, imagine when I'm 70, I would give anything to go back and deal with this chaos. But when you're in it, it's hard. It's a lot of noise.
I'm also a very sensitive person to noise. Like, it's like I get overwhelmed by noise, and my dog Ramen will bark so loud every day, all day, and then I'll just look at him. I'll be like, "Oh, you can bark forever. I'm gonna miss this when it's gone." Because you're right. It's like, you can see already how fast time goes, and the fact that your daughter's already. You said she's 7.
Yeah, in first grade right now.
My gosh! Now, do they understand how their parents met?
A little bit. Emmy does a little bit. The boys really don't. Emmy knows that, like, because she came on Paradise with us for like an episode afterwards. Like, she knows that she was on TV once, and like, if we're out at like a grocery store and someone random recognizes Jade and I or something like that, they'll come up and talk to us, and she'll be like, "How'd those people know you?" And so she understands that, like, people saw us on TV at least. Like, I don't think she understands exactly what the show format was. She'll watch it someday, but she has an idea.
Like, you can YouTube anything these days, and I feel like all kids know how to work YouTube.
Right, I know. I'm not ready for the day when like all her little friends are making jokes about us about being on TV and the stupid stuff we did. So.
Or maybe they'll think you're really cool.
Man, one or the other. I doubt it though.
High risk, high reward. Okay, a few Bachelor Nation rapid fire questions. Who in Bachelor Nation makes you laugh the hardest?
Oh, it's easily JJ. JJ cracks. He cracks me up. He is. Yeah, I know he. A lot of people viewed him as like the villain, but the dude is funny. Did
they show that side of him, or do you think his humor is misunderstood?
Probably more misunderstood. He's a very, he's a very specific taste, but he just happens to be my taste. So.
Yeah, I get that. I like his sense of humor. I feel like I have similar sense of humor. I know you guys did marriage boot camp, didn't you?
Terrible. We didn't enjoy that experience.
I've heard horrible things about that, but would you ever go back on reality TV again in a different format? Like, I don't know, whether it be like a couples game show or like traders kind of thing. Would you ever do that again?
Oh yeah. Would love to do any sort of game challenge, just maybe not, marriage therapy a month after meeting each other. That wasn't the right recipe. But yeah, we would love to do any of the couples challenges or games.
I mean, we all got to do together a Family Feud.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, do you think there's still room for real love stories in the franchise, or do you think it's all changed now because of social media?
I think there's room, but it has definitely changed because, like, when we went on, the people on our seasons before us really didn't have followings, so that wasn't even on our radar. So now I think people are so aware that you're not getting their authentic self as much. They're almost too aware of how the public's going to perceive them. So you have to just weed through that bullshit to get to the realness. And then maybe they can grow. So, like, I still think some of the recent couples seem to be good fits. I don't know them, but
I know, like Joey and Kelsey. I mean, again, this is all just based on social media, which is who knows what's a lie and what's the truth. But they seem solid. But they also, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes it randomly works out for people where I'm like, I think that actually was the way they were supposed to meet. But our season was like the last season before everybody was going on for social media.
Right. Yeah. Because we didn't expect to get anything anything like that. That wasn't even on our radar.
But was there anything else that you wanted to say about the season, or anything that you were like, I want to clear this up, or did we pretty much hit everything?
No, I mean, we pretty much had everything. I was there for the fun, and thank you, Kaitlyn, for keeping me as long as you did, so I could meet my wife. So I owe you. You
and Jared, for me, not to like put you in the friend zone, but you already knew that. Jared knows that too. But you guys like kept me sane, and I had so much fun with you. And the rap battle and what you said to me in the coffin. Hilarious.
Yeah, the coffin was my favorite. That was like my tipping point. I was at the point now, I was like, I am tired of flying all over the country for this. I'm ready to go home. Why am I still here? All the guys know Kaitlyn doesn't like me. So like, I almost had a breakdown that day in the coffin. And that was like my humor coming out. I was like, all right, I know that she doesn't like me. Send me home. I don't want to go to the next country.
You're like, I cannot spend one more day eating meat and potatoes, drinking Guinness in Ireland. I was done. So. That was a long time to spend in Ireland. Well, please give Jade a huge hug from me. I love her so much. And thank you for coming on. And I can't believe it's been 10 years, but thank you for being on that journey with me.
Thanks for having me.
I'd like to thank Tanner for being so gracious and kind to come on and sharing his experiences with us. I love him and Jade so much. It's amazing to hear about his journey and how he has created a beautiful life with a beautiful family out of all of this, from the Bachelorette to Bachelor in Paradise to now being a husband and a father. I really appreciate him and this full circle moment.